Hey everybody. Yesterday I did some cleanup on the final just like disaster that I had kind of created trying to create that memory leak. And speaking of the memory leak, I got my first negative thumb on YouTube, and I thought I got actually my most positives as well. And I think that is like kind of how things go as a software developer. Like if you make 10 people happy, like if you make no one happy, or like nobody's happy with what you're doing, but nobody's unhappy, you won't get any thumbs ups or downs within your job. But if you make 10 people happy, you're bound to make 3 people unhappy. And sort of the way agile and modern software development schemes have set up, like anybody on the path. So you have all these people, you have leadership, and then you have like some places don't consider directors leadership, and then you have like your final customer and product and BAs, and then you have back end developers. When you're a front end developer, you have back end developers that you have to make happy, and then you have all the other developers that you have to make happy. And the thing is the more people you make happy, the more people you make unhappy. The ratio normally goes in your direction, where like if you make 10 people happy, you made 2 people unhappy. If you make nobody unhappy, you didn't make anybody happy either. And I think that this sort of corporate, I don't know, development by, I don't know how to describe it, like development by committee sort of bizarre thing that we've created in our modern industry has created a situation where like we all strive, like if you want to be successful, you have to strive to be mediocre, so that you can't, so that even though you would have pleased a ton of people and they would have been thrilled if what you'd have done was really cool, it's going to make a couple people unhappy. Now, and another thing is, for some reason, actually there's not, for some reason, software development and writing code attracts people that are very inclined to mental illness, especially OCD and those sorts of things. And then I think agile, the sort of the way that they set up all these little traditions and these little things that where you kind of get examined and everything gets reviewed and all that, that whole agile thing kind of brings out those mental illnesses in people. And it's created just a really toxic environment in software development. Um, and software development is a fun art. It's not a it's not a toxic monster. But anyways, now I don't know the person who had a negative. Who the heck knows what their problem is? They may have just been like, technically that's not a memory leak, or who the there's no telling. But anyways, yeah. So I just that's just to let y'all know I do pay attention. If I see a thumbs down, I will think about that. And for the 3 people that thumbs up me, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. And Yeah, so I guess that's cool. So, anyways, I built this cool thing when that I'm really happy with, and basically, there's a left wall that's here, a right wall, a top wall, and a bottom wall. And basically, what I was trying to do is create a window, and then I guess I should have put a light outside the window. And let's go ahead and do that real quick. So basically, my light, so the walls are all sitting at 0 and the Z position, and then my light is sitting at 2 inside the wall. So that's why there's no reflection, because there's nothing there to reflect off of. But let's go ahead and put a light in here at -2 and see what we get. So you don't really see anything. Let's try -1. Okay, let's try. Oh, so you can kind of see the little outline here where the light is kind of showing there. And then let's try 0. And then you can see it. And let's try 1. And so now you can see how that light is sort of lighting up all around the window. And that is kind of like the whole idea of this thing. So now I'm just going to delete it so we can see the difference, and boom. So that is cool. I love it. Love it. And we got our meshes. Okay, so we got our left wall, top wall. We've got our little light bulb. And then we got the left fall and the right fall. Um, and then So in the animations, I have basically the ability to select which side. So now, or which property you're updating, because the properties were just out of hand. So I could be like, oh, okay, I want to see my Y position. So let's go ahead and switch over to Y. So that starts at -4 and ends at -4. So let's go ahead and make this one 8 and 8. So, um, so the red one's moving a lot faster and it spends less time in here. So what if I make this 3 and -3? So, and that's pretty cool. And you can switch back and forth. So in order to make this happen in the code, let's see, I did this. Let's go here and animated. So in the HTML before, we had like two animated properties, one for the left or for the X and one for the Y. Now it's just one animated property. So if I go over and we just look at the HTML, it is a little bit confusing that way. So if I come in here, see, all we have now is a single animation property that gets updated based on this dropdown. So based on this dropdown, we have this. So you could do, and I use a map form field, and you select a menu item. So if you select Y position, or if you select X position, now you see the X stuff, and that all gets updated in there. Let's see, animated property. Basically, let me go back to this view here. So basically all I did was make these, that's the wrong one. There we go. All I did was make these uppercase so that I don't know why. It just looked a little better uppercase. And then in here, I changed this from update start and update end to just update, because it didn't matter which one. It didn't matter because all update was doing. Now let's go look at the TS for that. So let me go down to the update, because that's what we were talking about. So I added an additional thing where you give it a property, and it can either be a start value or end value. Those are only two legal values that could be passed in. And then based on what you pass in, that's the value that gets updated in the pair. And then it just gets emitted. And so we used to have, so then we just value change. We emit value change. So what we had before was where you could emit start value change and end value change, and actually don't even need these anymore. So those are gone. All we do is emit value change now. I'm not going to hit save just because I don't want to mess up the animation over there by restarting. So now in this HTML, we used to have an end value change and a start value change. Now you can see all we have is value change. We got rid of end value change and start value change, and all we have is value change now. And I think that's really, I don't know what the heck the deal is with this. 3 property, selected property. So I did change the way this information. Oh, that's right, because this was kind of hard coded, these properties before, and now they're part of a menu system. And this is the HTML for the menu system. So now let's go over here and look, and I have a new interface that is only for this TypeScript. So maybe I should have put it in an interfaces file separately and imported it. For now, I'm going to do it this way. But basically, a property is a string. So that's X position or Y position. And the item value is an interface application property. So right now, it can only be an XPOS or a YPOS. That's all. Those are all the things that are labeled. So when we add ZPOS, which I believe will be in the next video, then this will have to be updated, and it'll catch it and it'll blow up, which will be good. And then 3 object properties. The only object property we support right now is position. There will be new things coming soon. And then our sub property is either X or Y. So basically, it's all baked into this. So this is sort of that beautiful mind quarter concept. Oop, my alarm just went off. Running out of time. That little rant that I did before used a lot of time. Um, so then here's where we just manually hard code the menu options that describe that. And I love this. Everywhere I work, you end up finding something like this where in, uh, something's all sort of mapped out like this, and you can kind of see the way it works and all that. And I just find that to be very interesting, kind of like doing a Rubik's Cube or something like that. I love it. Loves it. But that is about it for the code. Just to kind of sum up, basically there's two major changes, right? The first major change was that this was sort of this value change was consolidated, and from having a specific one that was for the start and another one for the end into a single one, because there's a ton of duplicate code, and that's gone now. And then the other major change is this drop down, and how this drop down sort of ends up being like sort of a mapping of how things should be, and that we control, we make this sane by using TypeScript to rigidly control exactly what is allowed and what is not allowed in there. So we don't have to worry if somebody else ends up doing a drop down like this and they use this animation property, and then we don't have to worry that somebody adds if somebody forgets to add, if somebody adds like Z position and then they forget to update it, we know everywhere where it should be updated because we can easily search on this animation interface properties. Anyways, everyone, happy coding. Bye.